I recently picked up this Atlas O Premier 50-foot Gunderson boxcar in the Montana Rail Link scheme. Really like the detail on the Atlas cars. This is the Premier line. And just comparing it to two of my other boxcars similar, I believe these two were MTH, acquired a couple years ago. And again, here's the item number. Next up are the 3-bay hopper cars from Ready Made Trains. We have the PP&L Penn Power and the Bethlehem Coal and Coke 3-bay hopper cars. These are from the Trainmaster line Premium O scale from Ready Made Trains. And the details are pretty nice. Ready Made Trains is doing some nice stuff. The price is about half the cost of other freight cars. Now they have some nice weight to them. They're not too bad. And they do have metal wheel sets, plastic trucks. But I have had some issues with the couplers not working real well, or not sticking, not working at all, brand new out of the box. And also, like here, this piece of plastic is broken off in the box and another one was broken, so I have to glue it. But in general, the detail's pretty good. They have some separately applied metal items here. And here's another look at the PP&L. And here's the item numbers on both of these. Now this is the Atlas O Trainman series. I wanted to take a look at that and see how they compared to the Premier and the Master line. And it's nice. You can see here the steps are molded in. These are scale, and they have some nice detail, but just not as much as the Premier line or the Master line. So like comparing it to this over here, which is more a Premier line, like an MTH, you can see a lot more detail and separately applied details. And the Trainman line doesn't really have that, but the price is better. And really from a distance, I like them. They look nice. They have weighted underframes. Pretty nice. And apparently the door opens too. Now let's just compare the undersides, the detail of these. I mean, they do have metal couplers and sprung die-cast trucks on the Atlas O Trainman line, but see there's less detail here in the parts. Then you come over to something like this. Finer parts, more detail. But again, the price is reflective of that as well. And even though it has a metal brake wheel, the end detail is not as good as something on a higher line, obviously, like this one. You see a lot more detail on the end of the car here. But again, for the price, really like it. Don't have any problems with it. I think I'd run it on my railroad. Now this is just silly. I probably won't run it much. It requires 072 curves, which I have, but it's just so cool I had to get it because this is the Atlas Master line. And this is a O Gunderson Multi-Max Autorack, BNSF Black Wedge. And look at the detail on this thing. This is the Master line. And the camera just doesn't do it justice. This thing is 22 inches long. And I believe prototype maybe like 90 feet. But look at the detail down here. All these little pieces. You got to be really careful when you're picking it up and moving it around, not to break off the ladder. I had to glue the ladder, and these little pieces were not broken. The ladder had one step that was not stuck in, but all these doors were supposed to open apparently, and then Atlas thought different of it, and we're having problems with it even on the end, so they glued them shut. The camera angle doesn't do this thing justice as to how big it really is, 22 inches. But look at the detail on the end of this car. I mean, these tiny little pieces. And like I said, at one time, they actually were functional. There's hinges there. It feels like it should open, but I know better. There was documentation that they glued it shut. But man, it's really nice. Try to capture some details of the underside here. And here's the item number on that. It seems 072 curves would be best. This is an 054 and I can feel the truck's binding a little bit. Here it is on my 072 curve. Looking at inside clearance. Yeah, it'll make it. I must have done something right with that scenery. But again, I'm really not going to run it a lot on the layout. Probably just use it as a showpiece to sit around. I guess while I'm at it, let's check the other 072 curve in this scenery here. Man, is that close. But it's not hitting. Nope, it makes it. Wow, I don't know what I used to do that scenery, but I must have been planning on something that big. Yeah, it would run. It doesn't hit. Might as well check this while we're here. Tunnel, portal. Yeah, fits through no problem. How about the sides when it starts going around the curve? Oh, does it go? Yeah, no problem. You know what doesn't run on the Bobot Northeast Corridor? Double stacks. Double stacks don't run on Bobot Railroad Northeast Corridor. Yep, there's a significant height difference here. Enough to make a difference. All right, lastly, let's check this out. I have Lionel locomotives, I have MTH, PS2 and PS3, actually PS1, but I wanted to try an Atlas. So this is an Atlas Premier SD70M. It has PS3, so it has, I guess, using the MTH tooling, and it has PS3 MTH electronics in it. It's the Union Pacific Big Boy Escort SD70M. And again, it's the Premier line of Atlas. And it has an operating door here going into the cab. Take a look at the front end here. I noticed, yeah, the door opens here. I noticed right above the windshield there, the one grab iron is missing on the left. I found it in the box, glued it in since then, so no problem. It's got the coupler cut bar here. So some decent detail on the front. Underside, it appears there's no oil or grease on any of the gears on the trucks here, so I'll fix that up before I run it. Put a very fine bead there. And just look at some of the details on the top.